Hey guys, it's Stephanie from Mod City Mag. I am the music columnist, and a couple of you have been commenting on some of our music business videos on our YouTube channel with some specific questions, and I apologize it's taken me some time to get back to some of them, but I wanted to answer just a few today. And again, I don't have a whole lot of time, and this video could be 20 to an hour long, 20 minutes to an hour long if I went into great detail, but I did want to touch base and answer a few of them briefly. The first question came from George O. It's either George O or George Ohio, and he asked about creating a promo kit and what that should include. I'm not 100% sure if you were meaning a promo kit to send out to venues. It was on our touring video, so I'm assuming that's what you're wanting to make it for. When it comes to modern day marketing to venues and to other concert halls, the thing is to keep it simple. People nowadays aren't going to, if you send in a CD with a nice headshot and a bio and a list of places you played, like, some people may still look at it, but you're spending a lot of money creating that and sending it out and mailing it to people. You're just spending a lot of money you probably don't need because a lot of times it's just getting tossed, to be honest. So you had a follow-up question or post after you posted about what to put in a promo kit about your online marketing. And I would say to really just focus and develop that. Most people now are booking through the internet. You can send an email to them and send your music and your background and experience just through a simple email or a forum. So you want to just make your online presence really, really good. And so whether you're just starting out or you've been around the block of, a couple years now, just make everything look really crisp and sharp. If you're going to make a website, make it look good. Don't make it look like a stock, like kind of blog setup. I mean, there's some very nice blog layouts, but you want to make it look really good and professional. Take the time to invest in that online presence. Make sure your Facebook account is really up to date and looks good. You have some really nice, clear promo pictures. A lot of people underestimate the power of a photo, and you probably have a friend or somebody in your kind of social networking circle or just personal networking circle that can take some really nice photos up for you, and either for free or really, really cheap. So invest in some nice quality photos, and again, just make that online presence really good. Make it easy to access your music. I think that's another thing, especially for me when I'm reviewing an independent artist, when I need to hear music. If they don't send it to me via MP3, I'm having to scour their website or their promo page, and that can also be a hindrance. Sometimes if I can't find them, like, well, forget it, kind of a thing. So I think that's the same thing with venues. So make sure that it's easy to hear your music, whether that's on Facebook and you just listen to it on a player app that you can put on your Facebook page, or you have that on your website, or you have a Sonic Bids account, or SoundCloud account. Any of those, just make it really easy to get your music. But yeah, I would not invest a lot of money in making physical CDs to send out to venues because, again, most don't review music that way. So that would be my overall answer to you, George. I hope that that kind of helps. If you have any further questions, feel free to comment, and I will do my best to look that up or to help you kind of think of some more creative ideas when it comes to promo. Thing. Again, with the online presence, I actually created a whole video the other day, which it didn't record, or got like the first 9 minutes and then my camera died, so I wasn't able to finish that video. But in that, I said some of the tips that I was sharing was that you just want to make your online presence unique and make it, make it to your brand or your style of music, and really hone in on what you want to be represented as an artist. And the whole video is about branding yourself, and come up with some creative Facebook contests to get fans involved and different people who you know involved in the branding of your music or your band or whatever it may be. So that's just a little answer to that. The next two questions I actually have, I'm going to kind of sum up in one answer, and one was from Lana411, the other one is from Butterscotch Jones. Butterscotch Jones asked, when first starting out, what's the first step? Do you record? Do you write? What do you do first? And I think she said that she had some songs already written, but she didn't know where to begin. Do I start playing? Do I start recording? Where do I start? And then Lana 411 had asked, what are some small steps to start working towards the industry on the artist and the management side? So I'm going to kind of lump Lana and Butterscotch's beginning artist answer first, and then I'll talk a little bit about diving into management a little bit more. With a beginning artist, what I would recommend, again, there's no right or wrong way in starting your career. Everybody's different. I think first of all, you need to have content. So if you have some songs written that you are able to play, I mean, it's also different if you just have lyrics and you don't have music. If you just have lyrics and you need music, you need to find somebody who can either write music or you need to write the music. But compose and get as much original material as you can. A lot of artists will have one or two really great songs they feel are really good and they want to share with people. People may really love it, and then they have nothing else to share and nothing else to build on. So I would really work on your repertoire first, excuse me, and then start the performance and the recording. I would go ahead and start some shows local at a coffee shop or something, just to get the experience of playing live. Again, I feel like certain artists thrive in the live setting and certain artists do better in recording or recorded music. And if you have the ability to do some home recording, you can start doing that too, just kind of messing around and seeing what sounds good or not. The one thing though, I do always kind of like to let an artist know is sometimes if you rely too much on a lot of the synthesizers and the vocal auto tuning and stuff, if you work too much on that and too much on your recording before you've defined yourself as an artist, you're gonna have a really hard time trying to sound like that awesome recording that you made when you go live. So I would definitely recommend starting with your own sound, if you are starting to record at home, make it sound as close to what you really do sound like, not to go overboard with all the fancy things. It's just really make it you. Again, it's a little different if you're doing hip hop or like electronic dance music. Then, I mean, by all means go wild. Just again, make sure that you can perform that or somehow get your computer to perform that while you're on stage. But yeah, I would first start with building your repertoire, playing a couple shows locally, and then, you know, if you have access to home recording equipment, to go ahead and start doing that if you have a friend. But yeah, I would first start working on your repertoire. I'm trying to think if there was anything else on that. Again, the other video I just posted about touring will kind of help you with starting to pick out where you should start playing and how you should start in your local city and build out rather than touring too quickly. But you can check that out on our page. When it comes to diving into the music industry as an artist manager, if that's something that you are feeling led to do, the best thing is to really get firsthand experience at a legit management company. I used to tell or recommend people to start working with other independent artists, you know, kind of start side by side. But I think that can be very frustrating if an artist at the independent level in the very beginning is not quite sure what they're doing and you don't know what you're doing. It's very hard. You're like the blind leading the blind. And so what I would say is definitely try and get an internship at a management company. I know that's not possible for some people, but I did that in college, and that was really helpful for me to see another side of management, and I actually decided I didn't want to go into management after doing that. So you never know, you know, some of that experience will kind of lead you, but it really, working in a management company or interning at one will really show you a big view of the music industry, because management, again, in my other videos, as I've mentioned, works with all aspects of an artist's career, with labels, publicists, publishing, lawyers, and all of that. So it will really give you a really great overall view of what the music industry is. So a lot of management companies are in LA and New York. There's a whole lot in Nashville. That's where I interned. There's a big group now in Austin, Texas. That's a big music community. There's probably a management company, though, in most major cities. So if you live close to one, I know there's some in Cincinnati and Orlando, and if you do some searches, you can find some. And just getting experience with legit managers, again, make sure you do your research on the company and that they're successful. There's a lot of people who have management companies working out of their house, So make sure that you are finding somebody who's not just, like you, who can create a nice website and say they're a management company. So make sure you do your research. If you can't do that, if that's not possible for you to go move or intern, if you're not a student anymore, a lot of internships require that you get student credit or school credit for it and be a student. I would just start kind of networking with managers. There's ways to learn from management without necessarily interning. That's something else that I did in college, was I called up and emailed a lot of legitimate management of bands that I've looked up to, and just asked if I could either take them to coffee if I was in their area, or just have a phone conversation, or just even email them a list of questions and learn from them. And many of them are willing to take the time and give you a call and talk for 20 minutes or so, or to respond to your email. I was really surprised at how many people took the time to do that. So that is one way that you can kind of learn some more. And then I would, if you are at the point where you want to really just dive in, I would find a legit good independent artist in your area and start working with them. I would make sure that you believe wholeheartedly in that artist, because once you get involved, it's kind of hard to step out. I would also make sure that you're getting paid. Never, ever, ever do work for free. I learned that as well. You end up putting a lot of time in, and even if they can't pay you, make sure they are giving you something in exchange for your service. So if they're a photographer and they can do your engagement photos in exchange for work, or do some kind of bartering but you want to get paid for what you're doing for this artist, because you never know, they may blow up and you would have had a part in that, and you want to make sure you get paid. So again, make sure you believe in them, make sure you're getting paid in some way or another, and read too. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but there are a lot of great books. Actually, hold on one second, I might have one here. Sorry. Okay, I'm here. This is one of my all-time favorite books, The Business of Artist Management. The Business of the Music Industry, I have that one. There's The Business of Music Promotion. A whole series of these books. I absolutely love them. They are great and just give you easy reads. They're not too challenging, great subtitles, so you can kind of skim through and find a certain subject matter that you're interested in. But this is, again, The Business of Artist Management, and is by Xaiver, Frascogna Jr. and H.Lee Heatherington. I will make sure to post that information in the info section below. But read up and learn from other artist managers, and yeah, go from there. That would be where I would start off with that. The next question I got was from Kevin Ellis. He posted it a couple of times. I apologize, Kevin. I know that you probably were just thinking I forgot about you, and I didn't. But you asked about PR companies and what are good ones. That's a really hard question to answer, just because there's so many out there, and it depends on what kind of artist you are. A lot of the publicists and PR companies I work with are for a lot of independent singer-songwriters and more full bands. I have had several hip-hop PR people reach out to me as well. I would say to just do, this is going to sound really lame, but just do a Google search and type up PR companies. If you're looking for one in your specific city, put music PR, because obviously there's PR for everything. Music PR companies in, Dallas, if you're located in Dallas, or wherever you're located. And again, like I said, for the artist managers, make sure you're doing your research and that they're a legit company, and never pay them until they've proven that they can do some work for you. I know a lot of artists and PR companies will say, hey, if you give us some money up front, we'll make sure to get you in on so many blogs and so many things. No, do not pay them until they have proven and done their work and you have something to show for it. Some of the ones that I work with that are bigger name PR companies are BB Gun, Big Hassle. A friend of mine owns Bullhorn Publicity in Nashville. Again, really good for singer-songwriters and independent artists. I jotted down a few more that I have gotten emails from recently, just off the top of my in my email. Webster PR. There's Ilium Media, Deep Dive Music, Banks Media, Again, I work a lot with BB Gun. Those again are bigger names, but it doesn't hurt to go to their websites and just look at the artists they represent, see if you kind of fit the bill, reach out to them to see if they are taking on any new artists. And again, same thing with management or trying to get to know labels, is really just networking. And even if they say no, just follow up and ask what kind of artists they look for, at what point in an artist's career will they start working, and just kind of get the information. And then you can continue to keep up that relationship and keep them posted on your career, because again, they're going to want to see some growth in your career before they represent you. There's tons of independent PR people. You can work with friends again, who are willing to kind of help you out a little bit to start off with. But yeah, those are just a few. But again, it really depends on the type of music that you are releasing, and the style, and how broad you're wanting to have the company, get your name out there. So there's a lot of factors. Sorry, that's not an exact answer for you, but Google is amazing. Again, you have to be smart and not give your money up to people and do your research, but you can find out a lot just by doing that. The final question was by, I think it's Sudi Mauti. I apologize if I said that wrong. Sudimauti. And their question was the progression of an artist's career and what's kind of typical. I guess this is kind of going back to the question I answered earlier about where do you start and what you should do first. So I would say is to take it slow. As an independent artist, you don't want to peak too early, because if you peak too early, you could be a one-hit wonder and then sink. You want to be really prepared and really knowledgeable about the music industry. You want to be able to represent yourself, even if you have somebody else representing you. You want to know what's going on as well as an artist. So again, I guess the progression would be to start locally and just really build up your name and your career and your brand, and then start going regionally, and then nationally, and then hopefully worldwide. I mean, it's kind of a silly, simple answer, but that's my biggest piece of advice, is to never start too quickly and too fast and not knowing exactly what you're doing. Take one step at a time and build, and it can be frustrating, and oh, I've only played this coffee shop or this bar like 10 times and I just feel like I'm not getting anywhere, and I have all this great music and nobody wants to hear it. Don't be frustrated and don't give up. I think it's just to keep going and keep building and to not go too quickly. Yeah, I think that's kind of, again, there's really no template for the music business or for what an artist's career. Everybody is different. Everybody has different experiences and are successful in different ways because of different things. So be creative, be you, and just keep working hard and believe in yourself, because you have to believe in yourself before anybody else will believe in you. But yeah, those were just a few of the questions. You guys can keep posting. I apologize if I missed any. I know there's some on several different videos, so I tried to kind of look on the recent ones. And thank you again for watching. And don't forget to visit modcitymag.com every Friday for new articles on music industry and health and fitness and beauty and fashion and just lifestyle stuff. So check it out. Thank you so much and have a great day, guys.